Hey, what's going on, everyone? Roxas, what's up, buddy? Uh, Savvy, hey, and Tom, what's going on? Yeah, I'm never going to understand the notification system, just like I will never understand the algorithm for YouTube. We do have that on the Discord server. I guess technically, I'm supposed to put this out on Twitter, right? Isn't that how that works? I think most people do that. But I'm still figuring out Twitter and how that's supposed to be used anyway. So it is what it is. Tom, you're on the Discord already. All right. And you didn't get a notification for this one either. I think we set it up to have that in the video channel there where it's Vega videos. But yeah, maybe make a note in the general or something on Discord, or you can talk with Z about it. He knows how to set all that stuff up. He's really awesome, but extremely helpful on those sorts of things. And of course, I can try. But the last time I tried setting up a channel on Discord, I almost broke the server. There was like a couple channels people couldn't even type in. It was really fun. So yeah, I might not do that anymore. Work, what's up, buddy? How are you doing? Work, I think it was this morning. How are you enjoying CGR? Have you even got a chance to play around with him at all? I'm really curious to see how that turns out. If I meant what I said, if I had to guess, if I had to make a prognostication, I don't think you're going to end up loving it. I think you're going to feel very similarly to how you already feel, just because you know the game, you know what you like. And I bet he's better than you kind of think he is, but I don't think he's going to become your favorite champion. That's my guess. What's up, Paul? How you doing? Oh, Tom, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I don't fully understand YouTube either. It's always nice when people turn on the notifications. I think that stuff matters. Obviously, there's a much better chance of getting a notification if you have them on. But who the heck knows? Dude? Patel, very costly war. Fortunately, I had a lot of those still, and some in the stash. But yeah, it did. And that's just, that's how it's going to happen. Going into a domino fight, knowing that there's going to be crit failures. And then I don't know why I decided, after years of fighting her, why I thought, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll try to parry her at the start of the fight. But it is what it is. I was just trying to cut down on the power from afar is what I was doing. And I thought even if it didn't go well, I'd be able to save the fight. But clearly I was not, made a few mistakes there. So it is what it is. And then the Fury one, that's weird. I am enjoying the comments on there. I think they've been really smart. A lot of consensus though, that there's some sort of bug. Someone brought up maybe the idea that the node aspect of evolution reduced my ability accuracy. I don't think that's how the node works. I think it increases Furies. That's my understanding. I could look at it again. And also, Archangel should not have his ability accuracy reduced by his opponent's abilities. It can be reduced by the node. So like if the node places a concussion, he actually will get the concussion. It's the opponent who can't reduce his ability accuracy. So I don't think that's what it is. I think there's just probably some sort of, the Assassin's Mastery makes some sort of sense to me, but I think it's also a little bit like Domino, where there will be some things that we just never fully understand. That's just what I'm leaving it at. If someone disagrees, I'm very open to the idea that I am wrong. Clyde, what's up? John, how you doing, man? Enjoying the conversation about Storm X with you, John. I am. And she is definitely getting promoted. Question mark. Hey, Vega, who should I use for that 5.46 Ultron boss? It's been a long time for me, buddy. I feel like Medusa was the go-to for that, if I remember correctly. But like I said, it's been a long time for me with that. And I feel like some other options have come out over time that can work for that boss. If anyone's got like a great suggestion for our buddy Question here, please put it out there. Work, yeah, I have played a bit so far. It's around what I expected. Probably it's not as much a House of Cycle as I was expecting. Yeah, it's really not, dude. I when I first got him, and after first, watching some videos, I thought, okay, he's going to be amazing when he works, but when he works, it's going to be very, very little. It's going to be a very small subset because you're not going to be able to cycle through stuff and have like tailor him to the fight. I'm still mainly fighting Killmonger in War. That's mainly, what I'm using him for. That's what I'm getting assigned. But even in this last war, I took it with that. I think it was called Vigorous Assault with the the healing. I can't think what the healing node's called. And Killmonger starts the fight unblockable. And so I just like, okay, I know that I'm going to be triggering decks. No big deal. I'm just going to get to the SB3, make sure I don't trigger the power gain. And then aside from like a, kind of a mindless air, the fight's over at that point. So it's awesome. Wet Noodle, what's up? Man, Falcon, how you doing? Crazy G, what's going on? PP. Roxas thinks, yeah, I think it is a bug. I know he was bugged offensively when the update first came out. So I wouldn't be shocked if there's just something else there that they just, like, how are they supposed to think of that? Like, I know they test things, right? And I think I'm not a Kabam apologist here. I think they test things. I think they definitely make mistakes. I also think sometimes they're like, really, how are they supposed to have tested Nick Fury on that lane versus Archangel? Like, come on. They want to get it out and get us playing the game. So I get it. Sabby finally started everything. That's awesome. Okay, Patel, the same happened to you too. All right, so Fury's just bugged. I'll bring that up. Thank you for saying that, because I could see me being sent to that fight in War if we see that matchup again, literally in just a couple hours. Clyde, thank you for the Magneto reminder. Great point. KD, appreciate it. Paul, yeah, thanks for giving the suggestions, everybody. Confusing, what's up, man? How are you? So we're just going to basically jump in, finish the, or try to finish, or get some progress done at least on these mutant lanes. It looks like, oh yeah, I was in the middle of this. I believe this was the Mystic chapter, if I remember correctly. And then we'll jump into the mutant ones. That's been by far the most fun for me. Dude, Rob, you are awesome, man. Vega just popping in to say hi. Sorry, I can't stay. You got to fix the car on your holiday, brother. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And yet, if you're like me, things like that get saved for vacation, because I just don't have time to do things like that when I'm not. And then I'm on vacation or I'm on holiday, and there I am cleaning the garage, which is how I got the concussion to begin with. So thank you so much, Rob. Really appreciate it. Always love it when you can hang out, but I totally understand, of course, when you can't. I hope that fix isn't too bad, and maybe you even enjoy it. We'll see. We'll find out. But thank you. I appreciate it a lot. Just updating the top shelf champion here, and then we'll jump right back into it. Patel, have you put out Caesar Tish video? I got him. Oh, my friend. Yeah, in fact, I put out 4. I think I put out 4 Cosmic Ghost Rider videos. I got him very early as the 6-star from Crystals, took him up, and was just in love with the dude. We even did a full test stream. A lot of the really smart players who you're used to seeing or stopping by were there, and we had a great time with it. And then I put out like 2 or 3 videos on him. The main point for me in each video, there was some part I was trying to, of course, teach a little bit, but was like, don't be scared to trigger decks. It's okay. You can reset his judgments. It's about knowing the judgment system and how it works, and then capitalizing on that. And then Germ and Slayer of Gods and someone else, the name's escaping me at the moment. I think it was MSD. Kind of figured out a couple other rotations there. Germ sent me his video, and it was just incredible what he did. It was I decided, I think that's going to be the last Cosmic Ghost Rider video I put out for a bit, just because the market, I think, is a bit saturated. He's amazing, so I understand it. But yeah, if you already have a decent working idea on him, I would just check out my last one. I think it's called like 1.4 million damage or something like that. And we go over kind of the it's okay to trigger decks, get to that SB3 rotation. And then 2 of the earlier ones I think are better if you really are just starting off and you want to kind of understand what the rotations do and how that works in the fight. Clyde, Vega, I'm Kevin. I don't think I will get the Thronebreaker before the July deals. Do you think the calendars will be good? They better be. They better be. After the fuss from the last few, and I don't mean fuss as in they should not have been upset. I mean fuss as in, like, I think there was a big to-do about it, and a whole nother year will have gone by. So they better be. And also, Clyde, my advice on these things is always don't rush, man. Don't rush. The game, part of it is designed to get us to rush. And with RNG, it is the odds are just not in your favor for feeling good about the rush when you're done with it. They just aren't. Like, it feels great to get lucky, but we see the odds. We know the odds. Like, even if it's like a Crystal Awakening gem, you still know that there's only a 1 in 6 chance you're going to get the one you want. So really keep that in mind. And rushing is the thing that gets us to forget those odds. Rushing is part of the mental makeup and mechanism that gets us to think like, no, this is when I get lucky. This is when it's going to happen. So just keep that in mind. That's my advice. Don't obviously I don't always follow my own advice though. So keep that in mind too. All right, let's go ahead and take out this Psycho Man. Yeah, what was I thinking here? Who was I thinking I was going to take him out with? I do not believe that Guardian or any of these is going to be an amazing counter. I think Archangel, oddly, is going to be the best one, just because Psycho Man does not bleed nor poison immune. Neither of the champs this month are, which is a great thing. I always like to see that. Give me all the shock and incinerate immunities the game can handle, and I will Archangel them. That's my feelings on it. Did not mean to go to the SP2 there. That was a mistake. Just trying to get as close to the SP1 as I could. I'm sorry, as close to the SP2 as I could. And I just went a little far. I am trying over time to slowly learn their special animations here. His SP1's clearly not that bad. All right, let's go ahead and go to the... I got forced to the SP3. That actually wasn't my intention. Munosh came up with a nice day-to-day rotation for CGR. I bet he would do a great CGR video. I think I did see that, in fact. So that's not surprising. Slayer continues to put out great videos. MSD did a real nice one too recently. I think that was for like a beefier opponent. I think he called it like the Eternal Perdition. So I would recommend checking that out as well. I still think at the end of the day, your best bet with Cosmic Ghost Rider is to learn the system, what they do, and then go from there. I know that sounds weird, but it's like learning the basics of anything will help you when a fight goes sideways for you or you make a mistake. And it'll also help you when you run into a node that just doesn't allow you to do a certain thing. I thought I had that one. I was close there. I'm really surprised at how Guardian is stacking up in this fight. Not because I'm surprised by Guardian. That doesn't surprise me at all. But because I don't really know Psycho Man's abilities that well, and I don't know the node that well. But I did get that 3-star and play around with it, and immediately was unimpressed by noodle arms here, noodle hands. Huh. Interesting. Does he have some sort of like energy resist or something like that? Does anyone know? Does anyone know Psycho Man's abilities really well? I was surprised that didn't take him out. Sabby, this SP2 is super satisfying. Yeah, I was even kind of satisfied by the small amount I got there. That actually felt good. What's up, my Patriot Carl? What's up, man? How are you doing? Great to see you. I always appreciate it. Thank you. Longshot, John, you talking about this fight in general? Longshot is? Duke, what's up, man? Hey, Duke, I realize you might not have had a chance to see it. So if you didn't, obviously no big deal. So I apologize for asking publicly here. But did you see the Archangel versus Nick Fury fight in my last war video? I was curious what you thought. If you had any thinking on whether it was a bug or not. I'm still going with bug. I think I'm going with bug, and that there's just something up with Fury. Cataclysm. Hey, what's up, man? At work, want to stop by? Thank you. I really appreciate that so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. What's up? Is it Con? I'm gonna go with Con. The IV Dawn, because it would rhyme. Con would make more sense than can. but you'd let me know if I'm doing it wrong. What's up, first time viewer? Thank you so much for stopping by. So this is kind of what we do. We kind of work our way through the event quest and a lot of chatting, a lot of talking. Often I'll have someone on call with me who is pretty smart about the game, and that's always helpful. And then this chat is always smart. But as you've seen, I mean, he didn't have a ton of health left, of course, because Guardian did most of it. But this is what I'm talking about with Archangel. Like, when both the champions came out and I didn't see poison nor bleed immunity on either, I was like, good. 2 more champions for Archangel to take out. I was excited. Gay dog. You love the war. Oh, thanks, brother. Yeah, that's how I felt too with that one, right? And don't get me wrong. Like, I appreciate everyone saying like, hey, don't worry, it's all good. And that's been a really cool difference for me over the last 3 seasons in For Loki is in my first season at Death, like it really concerned me. I was like, oh no, are they still going to give me fights? Am I still going to be in the Alliance? And then I think I learned the game better. I've gotten better at it. And I've learned my fights better. That's a big part of it for me too, is like knowing how the interactions are going to work. Like even the fight against Fury, just kind of understanding how much block damage I could take. And then over time, how much his power gain was really going to kick in. And it kicked in more than I thought it would. That was interesting for me. In fact, I was kind of thinking it through. In the fight, I was totally planning on Archangel's SP3 preventing the heal from the second life. But on second watch or third watch, it was actually quite a bit there. But when making the video, I was beginning to think it might make more sense to nuke him down as fast as possible and then send him to his, what's it called? Real life decoy or model life decoy, or the second stage, basically, and then let that drain. And that will decrease the amount of power gain and benefit from power evolution he's seen. I don't know. I'm thinking that through, especially if the heal block's not going to work, right? If the heal block's not going to work, then there's no point in having the whole fight tailored towards it working. June, People's Champ, what's up, man? How are you doing? Thank you so much for stopping by. Clyde write something? Yeah, Clyde pulled it. I'm really excited for Clyde and his 6-star. I'm really excited. Rock says, DLL, he'll stop by. He always knows. I have a channel for the folks who stop by on the stream, and they know. Like, unless for some reason I say like not today, they're always welcome to stop by. So I bet he'll be here at some point. All right. So the mutant. Which one is the mutant lane? It's this one, I believe. Let's stock up on mutants. They're by far the most fun for me because they're so darn good. Got an alert. Fusky, what's up, brother? It's been so long. It is great to see you, dude. I know work's been really busy for you, so I appreciate you stopping by at all. Hey, buddy, how's it going? Doing some auto fighting at work and figured I'd stop by and say hello. Enjoy listening and learning. Thanks, man. That's awesome. I know you're working real hard out there, so taking care of your family and all that. So thank you. Appreciate you stopping by, and I always appreciate the donation. Thank you very much. Michael Stover, how are you liking Kingpin? Is he worth R3 for a lesser account? I think so. I was really excited by how much he was able to do in Act 7. When I first got, I ranked him up not as a joke, but as I let a crystal decide, which is never a good idea. And but it worked out. It was fun. And I was really happy with, I'm really happy with his buff because I think he's now a very usable champion. And I was also surprised with how much he was able to do in 7.1. I think there was 3 full lanes that he was just able to handle. And they weren't necessarily even designed for him. And then there was a bunch of debuff lanes that I'm sure he could have handled that I just didn't test because I was satisfied. Once you throw Hood on the team, he's taking those debuffs and he's turning them into damage. It's really amazing. So if you're contented taking Hood, I think Kingpin is very good and yes, worthy of the R3. That being said, you know me, there's always a caveat. The skill class has received some nice buffs lately, and I have a feeling they're not done. They've already told us Black Panther is coming, I think, soon. And then Kabam Mike said that Black Panther Civil War is also going to get buffed. It's going to take longer, apparently. So that's at least 2 more that's coming out, and then the Mole Man buff is awesome. Like, the more I see about Mole Man, the more I really want one. I can't believe I don't have a 6-star. It's starting to bother me. Paul Burrows, AA equals easy fight. Yeah, you know, hey, I'll take an easy fight all day. Save me items, get me wins. I'll take it. I love it. I love it. Second man has massive crit resist on specials. All right, work. That's probably a little bit of what that was there. All right. When you do a mutant team, always fun to bring Magneto in case you run into those pesky robots. I really should R2 my Cable. He's so good as a horseman. He's probably my favorite horseman as far as the difference between, well, Wolverine too. Those two I think are the best as far as like how actually good they become with a horseman versus where they started off from. That difference is massive. And I still think even with Magneto on the team, it is always a good idea to bring along at least one non-mutant. Yeah. Although, yeah, let's do that. I would love to bring in Professor X. I want to start brushing up on my Professor X. I loved him the second I got him. And then clearly, thanks to folks like Barrow Man, we're learning more and more about how to play him even better. And I really want to brush up on it. I think he's definitely going to be my next R3 mutant, and I can't wait for it to happen. Let's see a little chat here. I'd say Clyde, to the mutant class is by far the best. I think so too. I tend to default though to Mystic, but that's just because I like Mystics. I like the way they play. I think that with every fight in the game involving every fight in the game, almost every fight in the game, every node in the game involves power, and so their ability to manipulate it as in general as a class, I just love them. But I agree. I do think Mutant has definitely become the strongest. Kind of to Michael's point here. Everyone wants a 6-star Quake or Hyperion, but you love a R3 Magic. Yeah, me too. In fact, I was considering not even opening the next featured round. I still am kind of considering it, although I don't think it makes a ton of sense. But I was thinking about using my generic on Immortal Abomination and then just not opening. Hold on, I want to read this node. All right. And then I was thinking about not even opening the next round of featureds. But I was reminded that they might put champions such as Hyperion or Magic into that crystal, and then I would definitely be opening it. Strife also looks pretty amazing. Does anyone in the chat have Strife? And if so, how are you feeling about him? Wet Noodle, you're saying to add Sinister to this team? Oh, for the Cable synergy? Yeah, that's true. It is great. At this point, I mean, we'll see. Watch, I'm going to run into a roadblock now for saying this. But with this team, I don't think there'll be anything I really need it for. But we'll find out. I probably didn't need Magneto. Like if I just wanted to kind of move along at some point. But if I was really doing this on my own, what I would have done is seen, do I really need Magneto? If I don't need him, then I would have just removed him from the team and put in Professor X or Sinister. I don't enjoy Sinister. There's some cool stuff there, like when you stun the champion and you hold heavy. But I don't know. There's just something that I think it goes back to Clyde's point, actually, that Mutant's just so good that even a champion like Sinister feels not as enjoyable to me. And I love playing Apocalypse when it comes down to it. At some point, I do need to learn Daredevil's SP2 animation. Right now, I still just like baiting his SP1. It's very long, but he comes over for like this right kind of cross looking overhand thing. It looks like we're going to have to go to the SP2. No time like the present to learn. He will eventually throw it. Maybe not. All right, let's see if we can just kill him. Yeah, maybe that's what he was like. He's like, dude, you could just kill me with your special one. Why are you baiting my special? Work. You have the R5 strife. Yeah, that's right. You do. He's very good, but you feel quite impractical for most things outside of Everest content. That was, I believe, in essence. In essence, I'm sure they went a lot more detailed than this, but I believe in essence that's what both. That's what Taters was kind of saying. That was Taters' feeling on things. I was very excited about him. I got him in the early, I think in the early access bundle, and I was very excited about it. And then I got that concussion, and so like I have not been able to dive into him at all, which is disappointing because he did look like a lot of fun. Maybe this is just the fan in me, but I hope that we do get more Everest content like in a year. And my hope is that it'll be bigger than Abyss. And we will need multiple champions like him and Aegon and Gilly. That's my hope. That's my, like, if I could have it my way, that's what they would be doing there with champions like Strife. And maybe we'd get one for each class. All right. Yeah, Apocalypse is just so satisfying for me. John, Daredevil SP2 only has 3 hits. Does it? I really can't picture it because I always do the SP1, like in the variant. Was it variant 6? Is that the last one? I think. I just stuck with the SP1. Used Apocalypse to just kill him. It does cover a lot of ground though, and that's always a little bit scary in a war fight. But Apocalypse handles him so well. Oh, yeah, Michael, you know what? I'm in that beta. I'm part of the group that got invited in the last like 24 hours who got invited, but we couldn't get in, and now we can. I was considering streaming that too. I want to do that on a day where I know I have someone else on call though, so I could pay a little bit more attention. Hey, what's up?
Sorry.
Speaking. No, dude, no worries. In fact, people were asking about you though a little bit ago. This is a great time to introduce DLL. I will not introduce him because I think you all know who he is. If anyone has any questions though, please let me know. And Michael, yeah, dude. So concussions are weird. So whoever's had one is Michael. You've just reminded me of part of why I was so excited for Strife. And not that I had forgotten that, but it's like the information just wasn't there. And then you say that, and I immediately remember I was excited. Part of what I was so excited for Strife was to use him as the synergy for Apocalypse. What's up, Kais? How you doing? And Dane, lots of love from Jamaica. Thank you so much. That's awesome. All right, so let's do a little fighting, and here's DLL.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Yeah, this stream is working out pretty well for me because I can't always like practice immediately after eating, just because I feel full. And the last few days I've been like practicing and then making and eating lunch right in time for this.
Oh, a nice little schedule.
Yeah, kind of working out.
And will you remind me what your instrument is again? I know you're a musician.
Trombone.
Right on.
Carl, I don't know, man. I know JT's not having his favorite season right now, but I mean, he's a very good player, and you know, he's still taken some extremely difficult fights and crushed them. So I don't know if I can give you strengths and weaknesses per se.
JT?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Carl. Carl, you're matched up with JT?
I believe that's the next one. Yeah.
Okay, so for those who don't know, 4Loki is doing a well, it's more than just 4Loki now. There's so many SSX one
Yeah, it's like half of them.
folks. I'm gonna still keep calling it the 4Loki tournament, though. It'll be fun.
That's fine.
Yeah, is doing a really cool incursions tournament. I was signed up to play in it. I'm not going to keep talking about my concussion, but because of my concussion, I was not able to really participate in it. I forfeited the first 2 rounds, and then I forfeited DLL. But he and I did a cool exhibition where he still kicked my butt, and legitimately kicked my butt. It wasn't just weird RNG. And the tournament continues on. It's very exciting. Really smart players, excellent players. Many of them will be streaming. I highly suggest you check it out. DAP's channel. If anyone has, I think DAP's channel has had the streams for. If anyone has the link for DAP's channel, if we could put that in there, I'd really appreciate it. And check it out. It is entertaining, but it's also really educational on like the nodes and the champion interactions. And what's cool about this incursions are fun anyway. But something that's, I think, extra cool about it is you're actually trying to sabotage your partner. So you enter the incursion stream with someone who's on your team, but you're intentionally taking down nodes so that their fights are harder for them. So you're more intentionally leaving up a node. And then if you take down the boss in that room, you get to remove a champion from your teammates' roster. It's really cool. It's really, really cool.
That link right there is specifically for the seeding process that we did Monday night, which is just who matches up with who this coming week, if you want to try and look for any of them in particular.
Very cool. And I mean, like, there are, well, like I said, there's a lot of really great players going. I think Work has told me that he would be willing to do a few exhibition runs with me over the next few weeks, which would be really fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too. That'd be cool.
And I'm going to try to make him use CGR somehow.
Oh yeah, and Man Falcon gave the general channel link. Thanks for that.
Thank you, Man Falcon. So satisfying. Go ahead.
I was just Sabby was asking what people think of Psycho Man as far as the arena goes. He seems to not be very hyped, right?
No, not at all. I took the 3-star champion, awakened him, took him to Max Sig, and I was like, I'm excited. I'm going to put out a video on him because I so rarely get to do like an early access thing. Mm-hmm. And I was incredibly not impressed. So maybe I'm open to the idea that people will find uses for him. But I don't know what they are.
Yeah, I mean, he seems to me like I'm sure there are fights where he can just absolutely kick ass because he looks like kind of an alternate build for like Doc Ock. And we've seen him kind of come back out of the woodwork again recently.
Yep.
So I think there's something there, but I don't know what it is yet. And he looks harder to use than Doc Ock and more reliant on the opponent. And we were just talking about that with CaviQ the other day, where when effects require the opponent to play ball for whatever you're trying to do to work at all, it can get frustrating.
And also to that point, and again, I spent probably about 15 minutes on it, so I'm not writing this champion off completely on it. But it felt like there was a tremendous amount of complex knowledge on the champion and also skill that would be required to get great things out of him. Mm-hmm. And great is a strong word. Great would be a strong word. So it's not even one of those, because like, excuse me, often a champion will come out and, us in-game players will be like, oh, what am I going to use him for? And then we have to remember that there's a lot of other people who don't have these rosters. It's great that champions are coming out and can be used to do Act 4 and 5 and what have you. There's no way like if I was still on Act 4 with what my knowledge was then, there's no way I would understand how to use Psycho Man. Like, just not even close. So I'm not sure what his role is.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because I remember I think it was work. Somebody was talking about how new players are like quaking Act 4 nowadays. But, you know, as high as her skill cap is, she's still not that complicated.
Yeah, good point. Skill cap, extremely high, the skill required. But she's not that complicated. Yeah, that's I like that. What's up, Zilliam? How you doing, buddy? I feel like there was a question I saw there. Spider-Ham Piggy Bank is back. You hope it breaks the game. Stink. That's pretty funny.
Trick asks a good question. Like, Tiger level great or Taskmaster great? And that hurts me a little bit because I want to love Taskmaster, and instead I just kind of like him.
Yeah, I would go maybe not even Taskmaster great. But again, like, that was 15 minutes playing the champion. Please don't hold me to that.
Big asterisk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not an arena grinder, but I do still want him and at a usable level because some of his synergies are really good. Particularly the Invisible Woman one looks like a lot of fun. Yeah, Rohit says Psycho Man is going to be used as a defender. I mean, we'll see. I honestly don't think he's that hard, especially without the extra node they give him. I could see him being a pain in the butt on like the strike counter nodes, but if he's truly awful there, then you can just use a champion that gains power naturally, right? And then it's not really an issue. Yeah. That was the other one I was trying to think of. Thank you, Wet Noodle. Psycho Man's other synergy with Wasp. So basically, he allows Invisible Woman to ramp up without relying, exclusively on dexing to build vulnerabilities, and he allows Wasp to actually block hits. And those are kind of the two biggest issues with those two champs. So I want him because of his synergies, but you're going to bring a synergy champ, you want them to also be able to fight from time to time.
Stink. This just in. I bet my account on it. If he ends up being not the worst, you can have my account. Yeah, that's funny.
Bold move while Groot is still in the game.
Yeah, this is true. But also, on that level, again, I you're bringing up some really good points. I see people are bringing up synergies. You're talking about synergies. I do think sometimes we have to have champions like that. I know it's not always popular, so please don't hate me too much for this. I don't mind when Kabam slows us down from progressing. I really don't. And that's one thing I do like about the CCP situation. There's some things I find a little odd, but I like when they don't put up videos on a champion, that usually tells you something. And and so maybe we'll find this use for Psycho Man. Maybe nodes will come out in 7.3 or 7.2 and 7.4, and he'll end up being amazing. But I'm very okay with another really great champion coming out. I know it stinks to pull them. It doesn't feel good, but it slows us down a little bit. And I'd rather go slower and have them really put out awesome content and things like that than just awesome champion after awesome champion. So that's my 2 cents. And I know I get to do this nuanced thing and you have to type, but I am curious to hear what you think about that. Kingslayer, what's up, man? Thank you so much for stopping by. Killer Instinct. 6-star torch from a romance crystal. That's amazing. Ooh. Congratulations.
I really don't think it gets better than that.
Yeah, who else is in there that would be I mean, no one's better than him, but is there anyone that's even close?
Archangel.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, those are the two off the top of my head.
Yeah. I feel very similarly about Archangel and Torch.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
I'm actually going to go check the list. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, Archangel. Well, Cable, if you have Apocalypse already.
Hey, so this is cool. I want to show this. I did not know this was here. And so this is pure serendipity, I believe is the word. Although that's a happy thing. So anyways, I was talking about Archangel's ability accuracy not being able to be reduced by a champion's abilities, but it can be reduced by a node. And I gave the example, like if a node puts on concussion, he will get it. As we saw there with, I forgot to say what I was doing, but if you saw me take down Sinister with him, I was intentionally doing everything I could to push Sinister to his SP2. Mainly, I didn't want him throwing any of the bleeds or the poisons on me, and I didn't have enough neuros on to feel confident that he wouldn't. So I was pushing him to his SP2. When he threw that SP2, my ability accuracy was not reduced, which is normally what would happen with Sinister. Mm-hmm. So this is great. Like, I really wish I had done this intentionally. I could take a lot of credit for it. But this lane will go ahead and I'll intentionally dash back enough to get. It looks like it's a concussion, I think.
Yeah, disorient is partial concussion, partial almost incinerate, and that it reduces your block proficiency.
Well, that sounds delightful.
It really is. Yeah, because that's the one that messes with Mysterio, even though it shouldn't.
Okay, so so we'll see this. I'll intentionally dash back. I probably don't even need to intentionally do it. But so you see now I have the disorient. He still landed his parry. Anyways, nothing revolutionary, but as much as I am a huge fan of Archangel, I do like to show what I feel is potentially the downsides.
Yeah.
And then here are the delicious upsides. Savvy Second Man can have some really good power gain. Yeah, and so maybe there's something there with that too. There's also, I think, something with some champions not nearly shining as much when you have the lower star level. I think it's called like the lower variety of them. And then as they get ranked up or the star level goes up, they just shine more. I'm struggling to think of an example of that. But a player that Deanna and I both know very well named Strands. He's you'll sometimes see him. He'll share a video with us and stuff. He is a believer that Mortal Hulk is going to get better as we get the chance to rank him up. And because of Strand's history, this history I have with him, I can't say for sure that I think he's wrong, because he's been right about a lot of other champions that were kind of not considered that good. They were undervalued, let's say. Like he was on Human Torch way before any YouTuber or anyone else I knew was in Human Torch, and very similar with Sorcerer Supreme, I believe, right, Dale? Yeah.
Yeah. And one of his first ones was Venom the Duck, who isn't on the level of those, but like especially before he started taking off in Incursions, Strands was one of the first ones to really get behind him. And we even used him several times in War, even as I think an unranked or like a rank 1 6-star.
For what was it for? Was it for Warlock bosses? There was a time where that was like a real thing, and it was a problem.
If so, that wasn't when he was working with me, but that sounds very possible. The one I'm thinking of is for a long time before Warlock came out, before Mysterio came out. Was it the debuff immune Sabretooth was sometimes a problem, especially at high sig, because I think there was healing boost on that as well. I took it once with Hyperion, but it was extremely difficult. And he was like, actually, because Sabretooth won't heal the direct damage from toxic armor, I really think this will work. And so we spent some time dueling on it, and then he just crushed it.
I think I saw a question there about potentially Angela's synergies being buffed. Yeah, I think so. I feel like they have done that, even when it's what they're referring to as just a value only. I do feel like the synergies have gotten buffed, and I'm excited about that potentially happening.
Yeah, that'd be neat. I will say, about iHulk, the biggest thing in my mind is that he probably could use a couple values adjustments, but there's one thing that I want them to absolutely change in his kit. I want Assassin to not work on him.
That's a great point.
There's a huge difference between like Hulkbuster, Ghillie 99, Iron Man, etc., where their regen kicking in, or their regen not kicking in sucks, but it doesn't mean you're dead. For him, if his regen doesn't work, you have intentionally killed yourself. And in a war fight, it's just so painful. It makes him literally not safe to use almost anywhere. And I think if they just fix that, we'll start finding spots for him.
And I'm using Cable for this fight because I didn't feel like I could have used, I guess, Warlock, but I really just wanted to whittle Man-Thing down. So that's all that's going on here. I'm surprised. I guess I'm not surprised Cable's done this well. You know what I want to check out, though, is I think his concussion turned off the node there. I didn't turn it off, but when I dashed back, I didn't get the timer. I think his concussion is only a 50%, though, I think.
I think it's 90. I think I was looking at that the other day.
Is it really?
Yeah, because 90 is pretty good.
Yeah, and he has this. There's something there. Is it with? Sorry, I'm looking it up. It is 90. No, the attack has a 90% chance to inflict a concussion, reducing ability actually by 90%. Holy smokes!
Yeah, I remember being surprised. I forget if that got changed at some point, but I didn't remember it as being that high.
And I feel like there's something in his. Sorry, I won't pause you all because I don't know how to pull it up on a browser yet. I have to get better at those sorts of things. So I'm using my other phone for it. He has something in his synergy family tree, I call it, that I think increases his percent for things to happen when he throws specials. And I think he also has something that increases the
Warlock synergy, right?
Is that what it is? Yeah, and there's also something that increases the potency of it, I believe, too. Maybe it's part of the synergy with Apocalypse. Carl, for a while with Hidden War nodes and Kabam adding Interblade AF out of the meta for a bit, but now he's back. Dude, Carl, I know we were chatting about it a bit, but I mean, I was really excited when I got when it was B Manny who was like, because I was lamenting that I had pulled the Mutant Awakening gem for Cyber Monday, I believe, Cyber Monday deals, and he was like, you have Archangel. I had totally forgotten. And then since then, I've just been able to use him in war. And I think we're developing a confidence that he'll work more to where like I'm taking down that Domino on Powerful from afar. Like, yes, I did die this last war. Yes, it is still scary because it's Domino. But like the things he can just do, I don't know. It makes me want more fights. Like I'm like, I want back in, coach. Like, let me take it. I can take this one too. And I didn't know it was B Manny's fight. But they asked me to take a Void mini boss. Clown tagged me, and so I was like, "Yeah, dude, I can take it. Let me get in there, coach." And I looked at the map, and the next fight was against Sorcerer Supreme, and I was like, "Oh, Archangel can do that. He'll have her down before she gets to her SP3." And then B Manny was like, "That's my fight, bro." And I was like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to try to steal my Alliance leader's fight. That would not be a good thing."
Okay, so looking it up, weirdly enough, the Warlock one is the ability accuracy of... not degen. So Warlock increases the ability accuracy of his regen. What I was remembering was Warlock and Cable both have a synergy with Sunspot, where the ability accuracy is increased by 30% during special attacks for all mutants. So if you bring Sunspot, the concussion will never not hit. I don't see something for potency at the moment.
There's nothing with when he becomes a horseman, ability accuracy increasing.
Well, ability accuracy will increase, which means you don't need Sunspot, but I don't think
it doesn't increase the ability accuracy of a debuff that you put on.
It increases the potency of Incinerate, but not anything else that I'm seeing.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, can you imagine if he had 100% concussion? And
yeah,
because he gets a power gain too. Think about that.
Yeah, well, especially because if he had 100% accuracy of concussion, let's go through this other one. Then you bring Strife, and while the opponent's suffering from degen, special attacks grant 50% less power. So now you have to worry less about power gain. And then you throw in Mr. Sinister, and maybe you roll the plus 25% power rate.
Jeez Louise.
So, I mean, even as it is, that's going to start getting ugly.
How many synergies did we put in there?
That would have been Sunspot, or actually you don't need Sunspot if you bring Apocalypse, which you would anyway, if you make him a horseman. If you don't make him a horseman, then Apocalypse, Sunspot, sorry, where'd that go? Strife and Sinister. So 4.
Wow.
And Apocalypse would be a monster because you have Strife.
That's what I was wondering, is if there's, if there would ever be content where you could make Cable a horseman. I wonder if you even have to. And then you have Strife, Apocalypse, that version of Cable. That's an exciting sounding team.
I think I probably would make him a horseman to get the power gain and the regen if I was going that way, and then not bring Sunspot and bring... Who would I bring? Maybe Domino for an additional power gain?
Yeah, Domino factors in there somewhere too. I remember this because I was already really enjoying Cable. I'm like, he's fun. Like, I don't think he's amazing, but he's fun. I enjoy him. And I think I was considering taking Warlock up, and I'm like, oh, Warlock fits in really well with this family tree. And then like the Magneto buff came, and I was like,
yeah,
this is a buff to magic. I remember thinking that. And then I was like, oh my gosh, there's like a Warlock, Magneto, magic, Sunspot, Domino, all fit in with these amazing synergies. Like, I don't know. Very exciting stuff for me.
Yeah, I think I would personally bring Warlock because that further increases the ability accuracy of his regen, and you'd probably have it up all the time. Paul, yes, he is metal and hero.
Yusef, Apocalypse Disorient Immune. Yes, but so that's why you probably didn't see it, and maybe I'm misunderstanding your comment. This is not Disorient. This node is. Let's look at it.
Is it not?
No. It's oh. I'm sorry. It's not concussion. You guys are all correct. This is why I always say the chat is smart. And is there an offer out? I'm seeing something about an offer from Adam Warlock. Paul Burrows. What is Paul talking about? You're so bummed, dude. I did. Oh, so you remember that video? Yeah, I filmed the video and I was genuinely disappointed. In fact, I think I actively talked. I was like, I guess the luck is gone. Oh well, like I was really bothered because it was like I think I even said I don't want Mutant. Mutant is the only one I don't want because I had ranked up so many and had so many good ones and they were all awakened. And then there we are. Oh, the piggy bank is back. Oh, the one that Stink was hoping breaks the game. That'd be funny. I think it was
rank the game last time. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think that's why it's back now. Is I think it came in at the time and they're like, we can't fix this. It's beyond our our skill set or whatever. So yeah,
beyond our ken.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Groot.
But here's the thing: is I really want to take up Professor X as much as I like all this Cable, and I do. I just I don't know.
I would feel the same way. Yeah, White Mags is pretty good too. That's the, where is it? I have that up. That's the one where he starts with poison resistance. That, in my opinion, is a little more situational, but it could be critical depending on what you're doing.
And then to Yusef's point, Apocalypse has just now gone immune. So remember, that's it's an interesting way of developing the immunity. You have to have it on you for a certain amount of time, and then you see the grayed out in the upper left-hand corner. He's now just completely immune.
Yeah.
If the only tip I have on that, and because I've made this mistake, is if you're taking him for biohazard, try to just get one bleed on you, because you do take the damage while the immunity is developing. So just do that one hit as soon as you see the bleed on you, then back out. Because if you get 2 or 3 on you, you will take the damage from them. I think it's over 8 seconds.
It's still pretty scary, yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes you can't, right? Like if you're like me, sometimes you're just already in the middle of a 5-hit combo, and hits 2 and 3 are going to come out no matter what. But I mean, it's real. That's why I like his. I don't think his awakened ability is necessary. If anyone ever asked me, like, do you need to have him awaken to take him to R3? I would say no, I don't think you do. I really think his awakened ability fits in very well with his kit, though, and I think it adds to the feeling like you're playing him, because his abilities, his immunities do take a while to build up. There's also a chance if you've made someone a horseman and you want to charge him back up with the genetic code, you're going to take some damage. And so having that nice little heal, I don't know. I personally really like it. But
I'm 100% in agreement with you. Well, because I use him in AQ, and so I alternate between him and Voodoo, and so for that you do need his Sig. I fed him 45-star Sig stones.
I want to do this. I don't know how this is going to turn out. I think this will be a good matchup for Apocalypse, but
should be.
It should be. However, I had seen some kills from Kingpin in this fight. Okay, so that stuck. I'm curious if I want to see what he does with the debuffs.
Right. My guess is that the important thing is don't get to 8. So I wouldn't use both specials. Oh, and actually you're going to have to be careful with the heavies, aren't you?
I honestly,
Well, let's see what happens.
No, because I wanted to see how this interaction should work, because Apocalypse reduces, the warding will be very important here, but it reduces their purification ability by 100%.
Yeah.
And Kingpin's only got 60% to begin with.
I know that, but then he has a, quote, 100% chance to, and I thought it just said to replace 8 debuffs with his Fury, which I thought would have gotten around it, but if it says remove them and replace them with the Fury, that's probably what it is.
Let's take a look at the wording, and that's why I was like, I think the wording is really going to matter here, because I don't recall it being a specific term. Like I don't think it's like purify.
Yeah.
I mean, it would still be increasing his attack rating.
Yeah. Okay.
It is purify, actually. That's funny that you even use that word.
Yeah, that's very specific. All right.
All right,
then
cool.
Apocalypse has nothing to fear.
No, which is, I wonder why. Probably just a tough node, or maybe accidentally pushing him to that SP2. He's got all these debuffs on him, so he's hitting pretty hard. Oh, whoops.
Yeah. Tom, they did not change it. It is still 8 overall debuffs. I think it's easy to I think it's easy to forget that if you're used to seeing him with the hood synergy, because then all debuffs turn into rage anyway. Problem solved.
So even that would be interesting, though, right? Like I ended up killing him with the SB2, so we didn't get to see the interaction. But I understand now why you were saying what you said. That would put the 4 debuffs on him. So in theory, he would turn those into the overpowered or overcharged or what have you?
Yeah, I mean, you hit 8 total, because he started with 4 rage and went to 5 and then 6 at some point, and you also had the bleeds on. I think you might have had a peak of like 10 or something, and he still didn't go into overpower. And you're right, it does say purify.
So Apocalypse is still a great natural counter to him. Like it seems like okay, that's good to know.
Yusuf. Oh, sorry.
No. Oh, I'm just seeing Adam saying the piggy break did in fact break the game again. I love that it's associated with Spider Ham too. It's just like it's almost like they're doing it on purpose because it is funny. It is funny.
You wound me, Stink, putting knowledge in quotes. I tried to hedge it. I wasn't sure. And then Yusuf, Apocalypse is also develops the bleed immunity, and what's the other one? It's not
Incinerate.
Or sorry, I meant to say incinerate because he put bleed, but there's another passive, right? Or another non-damaging. It's not just disorient. It's, where is that? No, it's just those 3. Never mind. I thought there was another. But maybe I'm just thinking of the evade, which is, you know, you and I have talked about this, where his evade counter is. It's good, but it's annoying.
Yeah. Another way, though, where, again, I'm not trying to make it sound like it's a positive, that his evade counter works that way, because I actually think that's the weakest part of his, like, kit that you would say is a plus. Like, if I was doing a positive, negative breakdown of him, I would put the evade counter as a plus. But I would want to crouch it with Sane, kind of like what I think you're going with, is you're going to take damage. There's a good chance you take damage getting that evade counter.
Yeah, I take the degen Nightcrawler with him on this last variation of map 7 that we had, and I only actually got hit once throughout the week, but there were a lot of close calls, and that one hit meant I died, so not perfect.
I'm just now seeing Stink's comment. Stink, I might have to use that so many times. In Kabam terms, DLL's knowledge is effective 100% of the time and immune to ability accuracy. Vega's gut comes with 300% potency. Oh, that's hilarious. I love it, Stink. Thank you. Are we missing any other questions?
John says that his evade counter feels less like a plus for you on offense and more like a way to counter Quake against him. That's funny.
I think it's probably true too. I mean, you can't build it. Oh, that's why I even started talking about it. Is I do think it's part again of why I like his awakened ability. Again, that's if you're going to use him. I haven't ran into this yet myself, but I can imagine it happening where you're trying to develop that evade counter. And you're going to take some hits from it. He's a big, tanky guy, though. So you slowly develop it over a quest. I just enjoy it. Vega...
You know... Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead, say what you're saying, then let's make sure we get to Michael's question, because we're going to be signing off in a minute or two here.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say that if I was going to change just one thing about his evade counter, I think I would make it so that when he prevents somebody from evading, it would give him, like, 4 towards the 4% on the counter, or maybe not 5. I mean, it could even be as low as 3, but just like it still helped him get to that minus 100% for evades. Because that's the most annoying thing, is like when you're trying to turn off the evades for someone like Spider-Man, and you're at like 60%, and you're like, okay, he's probably not going to evade, but it's also Kabam math, so I can't rely on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sorry, I will admit.
No, I know, Sinister.
No, but what I wanted to do is I was pretty sure he would throw the damaging debuffs back onto me but I wanted to see if like somehow it was like an Easter egg. And no, what just happened there? Was that the concussion?
I'm watching.
Or is that all because it's not crit damage? Why did... Sinister healed back none of that. Is that because it's not crit?
Well, yeah, all the direct damage wouldn't get healed back. So he healed back any of the crits, but not the direct damage from the specials.
That was really cool to see. I mean, I had no idea how that was all going to work out. So that was purely, I just wanted to test stuff.
Yeah. That's why early on we used Rolk as a Sinister counter for the same reason.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense. K-Dog. I learned something and was entertained. That's funny to people who've ever made it to the end of one of my videos. All right, folks. I think this is probably a good dropping off point.
I want to remind you, if we have just a second,
yeah.
Top uses for Kingpin for Michael's question.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Over that.
Yeah, thank you. An AQ or AW?
He's probably not reliable enough for buffed up, right?
They don't have to be unique buffs, right? Because Corvus can take it.
They don't have to be unique, yeah.
So I guess in theory he could do it. But then are you going to have a problem when he turns them in, when he turns them into...
well, that's what you would need, is you would need the Furies, because Rage is a debuff. That's
right, great point. So no, I wouldn't feel comfortable just taking him into AQ there. That's one thing I don't like about AQ is like... that you're incentivized to not test stuff. Like, because if you get stuck, you've just ruined it for 29 other people. I don't know, Michael. I'm thinking about the lanes I take, and I mean, I think it would have to be a very generic node. Like I think I have I don't think it's necessarily called clapback, but it's something like that. Massacre and Yondir on there, but then you fight a Domino. So in theory he could do it, but it's not like he'd be like accentuated by it or something like that.
He could turn the freezer burn, or like the freezer burn or biohazard, any of those he'd be fine.
Oh yeah, great point.
The degen lanes are all passive though, so I don't think he'd work there, Michael.
And you'd still, I think, for ultimate peace of mind, you would have to or want to make sure you take Hood to make sure you're at 100% for that. So, you know where he would work too is there a Size Matters? There is, right? Isn't there like an Ant-Man in Section 2? So Size Matters, and then also in Section 1, it's the one that like doesn't connect to anything. That's often a villain lane.
And there's a Major League somewhere, I think.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. So, anyways, it's definitely it's time for me to go. Thank you so much, everyone, for stopping by. I'm not going to be on tomorrow. It's a holiday here, Friday and Monday. So maybe there's a stream Monday, but I know there will not be tomorrow morning, potentially in the afternoon. But I'll get a notification out if that happens. Thank you so much, everyone. This was a great time. I enjoyed being back this week. And then, of course, thank you to Rob and Fusky for the donations. And then DLL, did you have anything you wanted to add? All right. Have a great weekend, everyone. I'm sure, I'll get some videos out, of course. And maybe we'll try to sneak in a stream this weekend. Have great weeks, and we'll catch you next week. Bye.
See you later.